Mic check.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Yes. Mastermind Wisdom for winners. We're back. Episode 2 with our guest today. And again, Mastermind Wisdom for winners, where knowledge isn't just shared, it's activated. Each episode delivers insight that challenges how you think, pushes how you grow, and sharpens how you move through life. So now, if you're ready for episode 2 with our guest today, Miss Imani Davenport, we want to level up and have you to level up mentally, strategically, and personally. Let's get started. Welcoming back, Miss Imani. Thank you for being again part of our episodes and in Mastermind Wisdom for Winners. Of course, as we mentioned before, Imani comes with us as an international vocalist, poet, model, and, most important on top of it all, she's a believer. And we like that about her because that faith is what grounded us into who we are today and where we're headed to for the future. So, Imani, we want to pick up where we left off. You had a great childhood experience. You moved around. You had to make adjustments, which to me, when I heard you say that, having to go to different schools, meaning you had to make different friends, different environments. But it was right up until the middle school where things kind of settled in and you made friends and started developing, I would say, people around you, your community, more or less. In that aspect of your middle school, were you singing and performing at that time, or what was going on with you in your craft and your gift?
So I said in the last episode, I joined a school choir in 7th grade, but from 9 years old on forward, whenever my dad would have a gig, he'd drag me along with him sometimes and throw me to the wolves.
Okay.
But in my craft, mostly I was singing at church.
Okay.
And, so that
How was your church experience in an environment of there? Because when you're singing by yourself, people are, I won't say judging you, but they're listening to your tone, listening to you. But when you go into a choir or you go into a larger group, you got other talents.
Right.
Give us a little scenario or stories behind the church or the choir or the other talents that was around you.
Yeah, so it's kind of easy to hide when you're in a choir. The mistakes, the flaws, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
You learn in the group setting, and it's not as harsh as when you are singing a solo.
Standing out on your own, the single, right?
Yeah.
I got you.
So once I started singing solos in church, it was a whole different response.
Okay.
I wasn't, where I am today, obviously, and little me, I was so nervous I would cry.
Really?
I would be shaking.
No one would ever know that you had a fear, because to me, when I see you, you're so courageous to get up and do what you do. But it took that was years of development to get to this.
Even now, like I get so nervous. People think it's vibrato when I'm singing, and it's me literally shaking. I'm like, but it used to be 10 times worse when I was younger.
Smart, right.
And so over the years, it has lessened,
Wow.
and I've become more comfortable kind of turning on and off that like performance mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
But in church, it was like, everybody, they praise you so much, like when you do a good job,
right.
and when you sing your solo, and they're very encouraging, and so it encouraged me to keep going.
Wow.
But growing up in a musical family, there's also that side that's like, okay, like I'm ready for the critiques, because like I know they're coming. We gonna watch this video and we gonna be like, now listen, that
right. You did.
That wasn't too good.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, you right. It used to be like, oh my gosh, like that hurts. Like, why would you say that? But now, like, no, tell me where I went wrong, and like, so we can work on it and get better and improve.
Awesome. Who was your? And I look at critique as being positive. Again, I always like to relate art in your artistic ability to the art that I have. I like to draw, I like to paint. So when we got into critiques, it was for the betterment of us.
Right.
So who was your biggest critiquer out of the family maybe and that would help you, that was honest with you and help you grow in your talent?
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Okay.
That's really tough because, I mean, they came from everywhere.
Okay.
It wasn't one specific person that, like, really poured into me positively, that, like, consistently cultivated me, but, like, the critiques, you take them with a grain of salt.
Right,
you know?
Right.
So I think I got more feedback from, I had a vocal coach. Her name was Miss Monet in high school. She gave me
the best.
Yeah, I want to say, like, the most consistent critiques and, like, guidance as to how I can alter the things I'm doing or grow and make changes and all of those things. So,
well,
yeah.
Shout out. What was her name again? Miss Monet. We'll give her a hand. All right. Excellent. So that's good. That's good because, again, it's the influences in our lives that ultimately shapes who we are and where we're going with the future. And the beautiful thing I like about the influences in people's lives is that it's the ability to take it positively, but here's the most important thing, I think, is to give it back.
Yeah.
To take that and find the person that's coming up, that's going through your difficulties and being able to share, this is how I learned, this is what I've done.
Absolutely.
And it makes it better because obviously what we have and our gifts are not just for ourselves, it's to give to others and to help others come. So I'm real happy that she was able to influence you like that.
Yes.
And based on that, it's a good transition to how we met.
Yeah.
Because you talked about church and everything, and I had always admired your talent. No one could have ever told me you was frightened or you was nervous up there. Because you get up there and I'm going, man, she's doing stuff that I know the average person can't do, but then your gift that God instilled in you has provided you that to overcome the nervousness and to stay consistent the way you are. So we are Corinthians originally, which was Mount Corinth Missionary Baptist Church. Shout out to our pastor, Pastor Alan Lamar Patterson. We want to give him a hand. And but our original pastor was Pastor A. Lewis Patterson, Jr., and which was a profound influence on my life. And there's no way he wasn't a profound influence on your life because that's the kind of preacher he was. So I met you as a child growing up in our church choir. I always admired your talent and your abilities and everything. So when we first actually really met, of course, I met you through your father and your mom, and I always was impressed with who you were, because you've already said it. Your whole family is talented, and you come from a talented background, right? A long line of family. I don't even want you to call out names because you'll be naming
all day.
That's
the whole episode.
Yeah, exactly. So when I again met you, I thought, well, this young lady is going to be doing something very big, and is doing something very big, and will be making some impact, I believe, in our music world. But give me, if anything, the first impression that you got when you met me, if you remember, or me and my wife, we go to the same church. I know we've been around your family often, and we feel like part of the family because you see us at a lot of events. Do you remember the first time or the first impression you had of us when you...
As far as I can remember, you guys have always been a part of my life. So I'm sure that we met before I started forming memories. So I think the first turnaround moment where I really got to see your hearts, when I dated your grandson.
I was wondering if that was going to come out. I kind of mentioned that to your brother the other day. He's like, "Oh, really?"
Goodness.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We want a shout out to Caleb Neal.
No.
Caleb gonna see this. No,
Oh
we go.
my God,
All right.
help.
Well, needless to say, we were able to meet through one of my family members, and I was like I said, I was enamored with you at that time. It's like, wow, my grandson got a good taste.
That's hilarious.
You came over to our house and had a party
Yes.
to one of our family
Good
parties
food.
and everything.
Amen.
Yeah, we had a good time. So we have memories, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. We have history together.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. So we will move on.
I used to joke and call Kathy, his wife. I used to call her almost grandmama. Or
Yeah.
So that was like an ongoing joke even after we split up. It was like,
needless to say, we grow through life and we have those
for
changes.
sure.
But once you came over, we adapted you as almost like a daughter, to a certain extent. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this interview with you is because I saw so much talent and growth in you over the years from that day to now. But as we grow, what was the biggest turning point, if there was, from the church and the high school musically that made you decide you want to do this basically for a living?
I had always wanted to be a singer. It was a part of my identity, and I've been writing since I was 9 or 10 years old. And at one point I told my mom, I want to be a star by 17. And she was like, all right, let's make
get
it happen,
right.
you know? Yeah. And so I was auditioning and performing all these places, singing. I had the opportunity to sing for events for the YMCA, the NAACP, like over and over and over again they call. And I'm so grateful because they built my resume.
Right.
They were like major supporters and believers of my artistry. And so shout out to the NAACP and the YMCA.
Let's give them a hand. Let's give them a hand.
Yeah. And so
supporters.
yes. So just I think the turning point, at one point I was like, when I became an adult, I was out in the world and doing worldly things and things that hurt me. I was going through some developmental changes that coincided with just like a little bit of backstory. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, survivor of sexual abuse all throughout my childhood. And I didn't have the opportunity to really process it.
Right.
And so rather than becoming this gigantic star, I just wanted to like know who I was. And I wanted to use my gift as like an outlet to get some of those things, like release some of those things.
Therapy.
Yeah,
Therapy.
Like music therapy. Absolutely.
You have to have it.
Yes. And so unfortunately I went a couple of routes that I should not have.
Sure.
But now with this opportunity, like these opportunities I've been given, like I see what God is doing, and like
second
I just
chances.
want to
He's the
use
God
it
of
for
second
Him.
chances.
Yes,
That's
He
it.
is. Yes, He is.
Isn't He a wonderful God? Awesome God we serve.
Yeah.
Well, let me share, because I've done interviews and I'm a little older, and share. We've all have gone through transitions.
Absolutely.
And but it's the transitions and the fact that we're still here tells us that we have that second chance or that new revival. And my true belief is everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But all reasons happen to help others.
Yeah.
Because there are people going through the same decisions, trials, and tribulation we're going through. There's nothing new under the sun.
Literally nothing.
You know.
Yeah.
And what I've gone through, I know someone else is either going through it or will be going through it. And my ability, and I hope this platform today helps those that are going through it and find their therapy and find their answers to move forward in life. And I'm glad you were transparent and shared your heart with us.
Yeah.
And we see that God has His hands all over you. That's why you're here today.
Thank you.
You know, and we want to continue to lift you up, and that's why we're here to support you, because you got the support. So thank you for sharing that with us. But with that in mind, through your experiences, there's places that you are about to go, and that wisdom that you're going to take with you now. It's going to be way further than the young. You know, if I had made it at 17, what would I think about that?
If he had allowed that,
what were the things?
I would not have used that for his glory.
There you go. There you are. There you are.
I would have taken people from him.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
It's just a whole lot of possibilities. But what you're doing now and who you are now is going to make an impact.
Yeah.
Because He's going to give it to us when we're ready.
Yeah,
when He's ready,
absolutely.
after
when
we're
He's ready for us to have it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an exciting moment and exciting times right now. But the future looks bright. The future looks bright, and because of that, we want to kind of take a little bit of break from our episode 2 and look at the bright future for episode 3. What we got planned for us. So you want to stay here in episode 3 for Mastermind Wisdom, because she's going to tell you about this bright future. Let's bring her in. Thank you again.